Are we in any kind of position that we can try this and I can see?
Absolutely. This box, I'm pleased to tell you, is full of explosive. What I'll do is take some out. This is a standard British plastic explosive. It's similar to the American C4, but it is actually much easier to use for filling charges.
If your parents or teachers ever turned on a documentary and you saw this little white-haired dude, you knew you were in for a good time. This is Sidney Alford, a British demolitions and explosives expert. He apparently started experimenting with explosives by disassembling unexploded incendiary devices during the London Blitz. There were two particular demonstrations that I remember from childhood that I cannot find at the moment. The first thing, obviously, I remember is his iconic door knocker, but there's a particular clip from my childhood, however, that I haven't been able to find in which he demonstrates how a flour mill explosion would happen using just some flour, a candle, and a cardboard tube. And there was another one where he used a shaped charge that he just made in his hands that was like the size of a soda can, and it blew through a couple inches of steel. Can't find that one either, but I did find a slightly more impressive one.
You can just ram it in and then put the cone in.
We're going to test it with what looks like an impossibly solid block of steel. There is a critical distance at which the jet will be at its most penetrating before it breaks up, so the charge has legs to hold it the right height from our target.
Don't panic.
I won't. One.
Wow. Go and see what we've done to it. Well, it's gone in at least that deep because I can push that in. But then the proof of the pudding will be turning it over and see if we have achieved anything the other end. Yep.
Oh, yes. But that's gone through over a foot of steel.
But his coolest video wasn't one that I found until recently, where he does a demonstration to show the effectiveness of high-explosive squash-head tank rounds, or HESH rounds. For those who don't know, the high-explosive squish-head rounds were designed to flatten against the exterior of a tank and not penetrate the armor, but explode in such a way that it would fire spalling from the inside armor throughout the inside of the tank.
So, here we have 150 grams of plastic explosive.
Sidney has welded steel armor to a metal plate and bolted this in place on the side of a mock-up turret.
I'm going to plonk it onto that target, thus.
His challenge, to destroy the inside of the turret without penetrating the armor.
I'll plonk it a bit more.
This plastic explosive he's patting into place will replicate the behavior of the real squash head.
That now represents the explosive which has arrived inside a shell which has squashed itself against the target. I'll take the detonator.
Inserting the detonator turns the harmless, inert putty into a lethal explosive that could blow most of the roof off a house. There's a melon sitting in for the crew.
Goodbye, melon. I said that. Firing! 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are.
At first glance, it looks as though Sidney's squash head has failed to do its work.
But if you look round the back of the plate, I think I see one former melon, which is no more. And here, still warm. You would not like to share the inside of a tank with this travelling at, I would guess, roughly the speed of sound.
If you've ever seen those water-based shaped charges that they use to deactivate IEDs, he invented those. If you've ever seen those bendable shaped charges, I'm pretty sure he invented those. He also invented his own stabilized explosive. It all started when he was 14, and it's just great because he incorporates this, boyish wonder that you would expect from someone who spent their entire life setting things on fire and blowing things up. But he combines it with an incredible technical expertise that just leaves you speechless. First thing, go read this guy's Wikipedia. It reads like the script for a Most Interesting Man in the World commercial. One thing I couldn't understand in here, it implies in this paragraph that the way the British used to deal with IEDs was with cement-filled RPGs. I Googled the hell out of that and could not find anything. If you know anything, let me know. But you also want to go watch the PBS documentary Kaboom about the history of explosives. It features Sidney heavily.
Peter Gurney liked to play with rockets as a boy.
It moved.